Everything in this video can be found on a public domain and the full disclaimers down below. Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. And I wish you lots of love and many blessings. And a huge thank you to Patty, Peter, and Mary. I appreciate y'all so much. Now, if you make it to the end of this video, there's something I want to show you, and I think it's pretty important. Alright, you guys, so this just came in, and I want to say thank you to Patty for pointing it out. Harry's just made an announcement. He is writing his very own Megxit memoir, and he's giving the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Since when do they know how to do that? I sure hope he includes all the money they spent since Megan joined the family and since Megxit started. Let's talk about it really fast. But before we get on with it, I kind of wanted to point out the whole pamper donation. It's like my buddy Peter said. They have spent some mad money, like spending $3,500 on taxi service. That's $3,500 to get him from the airport to the house in style. And they have the audacity to hang on to a diaper donation? Give me a break. Real humanitarians never ever breathe a word of what they do for others. I'm really surprised they don't take out billboards all across America, letting everybody know everything they've done that's a good deed. See, they're not getting the money that they were once used to in the royal family. They thought that it was just going to land in their lap, I guess, and they were going to continue the way they lived. No problems. Didn't work out that way. I wonder what Granny said no to for him to come out with a memoir. And in his truthful and nothing but truthful memoir, I wonder if he's going to mention all of this. So starting with their wedding was $45 million. And then an extensive security presence, fine dining, and a number of other expenses. Like snipers and undercover police, military technicians. The overwhelming security added up to an estimated $42.1 million extra dollars on top of the already $45 million wedding cost. So this entire time everybody's been saying, oh, $45 million wedding. Not the case. Try $87 million wedding. They had 20 silver-plated trumpets that announced the event, and they were $125,000 a piece. That lemon elderberry cake was $70,000. That's all. They spent $36,000 on sausage rolls and hot tea. They spent $150,000 on the flowers that lined the stairway of the outside of the church. And of course, her iconic Da Vinci gown, $440,000. $420,000 just to hire the glass marquee for the evening reception at the Frogmore House. Initially, they wanted to live at Kensington Palace in apartment 1. $5.5 million renovating that apartment. And then another $3.5 million for the Frogmore Cottage renovations. I almost forgot to include all the trinket gift bags for her guests. People ended up selling them for like $2,500 online. Anyway, to fill those trinket bags, it cost about $45,000. Those particular trinket bags were for the 2,600 public members that were lucky enough to be on the guest list. It cost more like $120,000 for the bags and the trinkets and the gifts that she got her real friends that came to the reception. And the $100,000 Jaguar that she got her bestest, Jessica Maroney, as a helping gift. Thank you. The very first year within the royal family, she racked up well over $1 million on wardrobe alone. That does not include jewelry and other accessories. And the following year, they spent $3 million on a wardrobe. And then when she was quote-unquote pregnant with Archie, she hired that child a stylist. No wonder Charles looked so ill during that entire situation. He just got to where he wasn't healthy looking at all. Then, here comes Megxit, and they decide they don't want to be there anymore. They're leaving. They ran around telling big old lies, saying Daddy cut them off, and that's just not the case. Charles gave them a quote-unquote substantial sum of money. And we kept hearing about how he was calling his dad back for more. Until somebody got in Charles's ear and said, hey, you need to cut that out now. They're going to be all right, because between them, they're already worth at least $30 million. There had to have been some sort of money funneling somewhere, and I'm going to talk to you about it real fast. Now, I can't prove this one way or the other. I'm just going to tell you what was told to me a long time. Now, allegedly, it was told to me that she was funneling money by way of the clothing allowance that Charles kept increasing. She would buy a few pieces here and there, but most of the time, she was wearing designer samples that they would send to her on a loan. And I've seen her many a times with the tag sticking out from underneath that dress. How true that is, I'm not sure. I know one thing for sure is this. I had somebody that knows Mr. Markle quite closely send me some pictures about 3.5 years ago. And even though I still have those pictures to this day, I cannot put them up because when I did, I was threatened with a lawsuit and had to take them down with a quickness. Because they showed Mr. Markle's real good friend in not such a good way. But that's neither here or there. I can tell you this. The inside of his house didn't look like it does now. And he went from eating hot dogs from a gas station to living pretty high on the hog, it seems. Now, I've always heard that Doria was running between Megan and her dad, being a middleman. And this whole thing started off on a very suspicious foot. If you remember, the very first thing he said in his very first interview was Harry told him to give Trump a chance. And we know better. When all this started, I was really defending Mr. Markle hardcore. But things started not totally adding up. And so I lost my trust in him real quick. I believe he's a part of their act. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But Doria is too. Doria has really made out like a fat rat, like a bandit. You know, she kind of scraped by through life for the last, 25 years. According to all the public records that I can find. And before it was scrubbed off the internet, I'm kidding you not. And I believe it's on my old laptop. I'll have to dig it out. Public records showed she had moved 18 times in 19 years. So for the first time in her life, she knows stability real well. And now she owns a caretaker business. Self-pay 100%, no insurance. So they've really made out very well since this marriage, since this relationship. So I feel like if he's going to sit down and put pen to paper and write a real truthful Megxit memoir. Nothing but the truth. He needs to tell the entire truth from start to finish. The entire truth. Remember, according to Megan, Megxit was Harry's plan even before the wedding. So they went through all that money knowing Megxit was going to happen. I have a sneaky suspicion that his memoir is going to be so nasty against the royal family, and that's a part of their plan. They've been working on this for a while. It's the long con, it's the bigger picture, and that's a whole nother video in itself. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to you really fast, but I wanted to show you something that was sent my way. It's scary and confusing. I will be leaving the link to this entire advertisement in my description box. Look it over and let me know what in the world is going on here. And due to the algorithm, I can only say so much. Do you guys feel like this has everything to do with what's been going on in the world in the last, year and a half? Why between now and 48 months from now do they feel they need body storage? Now, I know the states, we have FEMA that handles that, so we're not going to find one of these advertisements. I don't know if you guys have FEMA over there in England, but I am worried for my friends. It's basically a $6 million contract for 48 months for a temporary body storage position, and it wants this company to be located in London. And it reads, the overarching aim of this tender is to provide a single framework supplier that'll be able to provide temporary body storage facilities to house deceased in the event of an excess death situation. The deceased will be stored with dignity and construction and commissioning to an agreed standard. This framework will be procured by the authority as the Pan-London lead at locations to be determined based on local London needs at the time, and will require some design elements to accommodate local site conditions and constraints, while being capable of rapid deployment. But all London local authorities may call off against the framework. This will be a contingency cover framework, and as such, there's no minimum guarantee. of any level of spend or call off under the framework agreement. And like I said, y'all, the whole link is down in the description box. I hope you can check it out and educate me. But I want to know, what is this about? It's kind of creepy. I appreciate you being here with me again today. I'll see you soon and we'll talk fast. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.